It's Yeye time. Exclusive to Omni Audio and live on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and X every Monday at 1200 hours.
Hola. Dumelang again. It's that time of the week, and then vandaag we're doing it on Friday. Let's join, have a conversation. It's big weekend for the MTN second leg games. Let's start.
Man, it's a big weekend. I think it's best we start here because everyone is excited.
Yeah.
The semi-final that we were not hoping for, but the final we were all hoping for. Mamelodi Sundowns versus Orlando Pirates. First game go Orlando Stadium. 1-1 draw. We saw Kamkhelo Sebelele, another player that you gave props and said was going to do well at Pirates. He came through, scored the equalizer.
Yeah.
But it's still Mamelodi Sundowns. What's going to happen tomorrow, Khotman?
Sure, it's a very big one. Tomorrow we have to like see a one team that will be playing in the MTN 8 Cup final. We go into the game really 1-1 draw, but Mamelodi Sundowns has an advantage of an away goal. That means it makes it trickier for Orlando Pirates to go out there and then try and win that game. Good last 30 minutes or so performance from them. Good obviously chances created, and we even saw the other one that was called offside, but when we watch it it appears for Nice on offside. Both teams coming from the win Sabona midweek, and then going in with a very, very high confidence because of those wins, because of obviously the performance got the first leg, and they know each other, they understand each other now. Sundowns played their game midweek with a totally different team, and then maybe the thought obviously was about this coming weekend against Pirates, which makes it a bit difficult for Orlando Pirates to sort of plan and who to play and who is going to play and who's not going to play, or who is going to be in the starting 11 for Mamelodi Sundowns. But we know as we witnessed Iwina happen with a totally different starting 11, with younger players making their starting 11. Yohomo Lemokekani getting his debut, the under-20 international. It was good to see him play. I still maintain that it is going to be another draw, probably 1-1, and then Orlando Pirates might win on penalties.
Khotman, given Orlando Pirates' performance last week, we saw in the opening of the season, the coach tried to implement a lot of changes and it didn't work for him. Mara, last week he seemed to get it right, especially from the bench. As someone who is a coach, Loena yourself, let's say Coach Oadu was watching this, what tactical advice would you give him?
Sure. I think the one thing that I will not do, and then Kibuakan, not any other coach, something that I will not do going into a new team, it would be not to change too much very early when I get there. I mean the previous coach at that time would have done a lot of work, would have laid a foundation for me to get there. So surely there's something there's a lot of good things that have been happening in that space. So me getting there wouldn't be let me implement 100% everything of what I want to do. Let me change the players altogether. Let me do that. Then no, I would not do that. I will sort of allow things to to take shape. I would allow things to integrate the new players very slowly at the right time, and so that there's continuity from the previous season into the new season. And as Nakonseya, then obviously I introduce other players, I introduce whatever. When we do it that way, by the time ever like 6 months into the season, you are getting the results. You are playing a good football. Your supporters are happy, and then also probably at that time about 70% of the new players would have been integrated into the team, knowing exactly what they want to do, they should do, and know exactly what is expected of them from the club's point of view, from the team's point of view, and obviously from the coach's point of view.
Khudmane, Orlando Pirates is not the only team that's playing this weekend. We have Sekhukhune United playing against Stellenbosch, and it's obviously advantage Stellenbosch. Stellenbosch 2-0 up, but we know what Sekhukhune are capable of.
Yeah.
Eric Tingler is a very good coach. They have very good players. What do you see happening there?
Coach Eric knows how to win those small trophies. He has obviously the experience of winning trophies. He has done it Cape Town City. He has done it SuperSport United. So he knows how to win those trophies. And then I mentioned a few weeks ago, Sekhukhune, with the quality of players that they have, they get to start the games very slow. They concede the goals, and then they've been lucky more the game to come back and end up winning those games. As the first game was the first half of this game, and let's see how Coach Eric sort of approach the second leg with the 2-0 down at home. Liena, he wants it obviously, and he doesn't have any room. Go start slow. He doesn't have any other chance. This is the last chance for him. But Stellenbosch is doing fairly well. They have not started the way obviously they usually start the season, but in the M10-8 they've been doing fairly well, and then coming in with the 2-0, I think they are safe. I think they are safe, and then they will be a team that will be playing in the final.
Khudman, let's talk about a team that you once played for, Kaizer Chiefs. The last time they won 3 out of 3, they won the league. I think that was your generation, Khudman.
Yeah.
Group Yaluna, Libo Shawa, Libo Bennett Parker, 3 out of 3, and then you went on as far as winning the league.
Yeah.
How far do you see this current team going, Kaizer Chiefs, this season?
Look, Sanse Ili like early days obviously to sort of project or to say Batlaka, right? But that's a good start, a very good start in a very long time. And then having won 3 games, not considered any goal. Currently, it's a very good motivation for the players, the team, and then obviously bragging rights for the supporters. It has not been happening, or it has not happened in a very long time, and now you can see how happy the supporters are. Definitely, I'm seeing the top 8 finish very safe now, and I can safely say that. I'm just hoping that maybe because what I'm saying is the MTN spot is guaranteed with regards to the start Sabona now. The focus would be to try and finish for the top four. Obviously, that would need them to be consistent. That would need them to win more games than others. And hopefully the top four finish this season to prepare for next season to compete for the league.
Khotman, Ben Yusuf once took over last season from Coach Nabi. And when he took over, he won a couple of games. Coach Nabi came back.
Yeah.
The team started losing. He was the one responsible in preseason. The team was losing. I think you know where I'm going with this, Khotman. I don't know if you're comfortable in answering this, but does this mean that Ben Alil Yusuf is better than Coach Nabi?
No, he's not. They've contributed together as a technical team to where the team is now. It's obviously fortunate that the team is getting the results, and that is the reward of the work that they've put together during preseason. And I think, it's not a matter of who's better than who, but it's a matter of what they have done together to prepare the players for this moment.
We look at this Kaizer Chiefs team, Khotman. We see there's been a lot of changes, and we see that most of their games, Bade Renieilwe off the bench.
Yeah.
Serino came on as a sub, won them the game. Ndlovu came on as a sub and won them the game. Are we now saying that maybe, like Luena as a coach, the substitution, how important is it that you put the right players at the right time, and maybe Coach Owari can learn a thing or two from you?
Yes, every player that is playing or that is not playing, as long as you are a player and you are registered for that club, you are very important, and then you are playing a very key role in contributing for team, right, for the club. The language that is being used now as for the subs, they are called the game changers, because it is expected of them, they must make a difference, because they've seen obviously where the opponents they've seen how the game is going, and then the person or dlalang position at that time, what is he not doing, or what is he not doing enough. So when they go in, they've already know they must try and fix 1, 2, 3 with regards also to the instructions that's from the coach. So game changers are supposed to change the game for the team to influence the result, and then that we have seen obviously more Kaizer Chiefs in recent games, that players that are coming from the bench, they really do that. They change the game and they influence the game, and they score goals to give Kaizer Chiefs points.
Khotman, going back to the Betway Premiership.
Yes.
We all expected Mamelodi Sundowns and Orlando Pirates to be on top. Orlando Pirates lost 2 games in the opening. They only won 1 recently. Mamelodi Sundowns live on themselves. They haven't lost. They drew 1 and won 2. Kaizer Chiefs and Sekhukhune on top of the league.
Yeah.
How Sebelele, Khotman, is this gonna be the season where we dethrone Mamelodi Sundowns?
I don't think so. Mamelodi Sundowns has always started slow, but this one I think it was the slowest start in terms of their performance. The points are there. It's 7 out of 9. It's not too bad, but because of how they've been playing the previous seasons, the expectations were they will win the first 3 games, and then getting a draw from cheaper. That game was expected Mamelodi Sundowns will win it by by a huge margin, which did not happen. But they still sitting up there, Lebanon, with obviously Kaizer Chiefs and Devon City, 2 points difference. I still think, Corey, they are still there. They are still one of the teams that will be difficult to beat and challenge for the league this season. I think one game that will go a long way, especially for Kaizer Chiefs, it is next week's games against Mamelodi Sundowns. That 3 points for Chiefs will go a long way. As much as I say it's too early, but will then come back May and say that 3 points that was played 4 games into the season is the 3 points that have won 1, 2, 3 of that have won the league for Chiefs or whatever, or that has disturbed Mamelodi Sundowns, whatever. So for any team, especially for, let's say, for Kaizer Chiefs to do well, you would need to destabilize your direct competitors, which are obviously your Orlando Pirates, your Staleys, your Mamelodi Sundowns, teams that are always more on top. Sekhukhune. It's those teams that you know for sure, Jorge, you should destabilize, and then the other group of teams, make sure that you get 6 points from them.
Khudman, you look at this Kaizer Chiefs team, badlala, like they're playing, but they're not playing to, their best. Mamelodi Sundowns obviously is going to be a challenge for them. Last season, same thing happened. They won their opening fixtures, played Mamelodi Sundowns, and ever since then, baba shapa. There's one player that I just want to talk about, Mfundo Vilakazi, who I think has the potential to be a Relebogile Mfugeng for Kaizer Chiefs. Khudman, why are they not playing him enough?
Look, I think at the moment, there's maybe players that are doing better than him. I don't know. I'm not at obviously their training, and I don't know what is the coach is thinking. But I'm sure that in terms of the team's preparation, in terms of how the team wants to approach the game, different games, Mfundo does not really sort of suit the way of how they want to start that game or approach that game at that time. And then Bamweza, obviously they prefer him to be a game changer at the moment. But I'm sure that at the right time, with the right game, with the approach that obviously suits his way of play, then he will start some games. And then hopefully that he will do well, and then obviously make his case better in starting a lot of games going forward from there.
Hey, Khudman, we look at Chen. You are one of the assistant coaches there.
Yeah.
Bafana Bafana played their opening fixture on the 8th of August, Algeria, 1-0 draw. Played Equatorial Guinea, 2-1. And then 3-3 with Uganda. Niger was also 0-0.
Yeah.
He went there with a couple of players who don't have teams right now, and we see how a lot of teams in the Betway Premiership are struggling. The likes of Boneo Maema, Zakele Lipasa, Ndlo. These are guys that can actually contribute to the winning of a team.
Yeah.
What do you make of your players' performance, Khudman, and where do you think you lost it?
To be honest, I'm happy with obviously the performance that they've shown, especially in the last game against Uganda, the hosts. I mean, if you can think back, when we started preparing, it was a week before the tournament started, and we took players that have not played in a very long time. Others 2 seasons, others they've played 3 or 4 games in that season, and they were not having teams at that time. They did not do proper pre-season with obviously anyone. So we needed now to bring them in, start a pre-season within a tournament preparation, which is very difficult. So you now try to balance between getting them fit quickly and also understand the tactics of how the technical team, especially the head coach, wants to approach the games and the tournament. It's a tricky situation, very difficult, but I feel that with the Algeria, one of the teams that are sort of, they are defending champions, Sachin, and they expected. I remember people were always saying we are going to lose 3 or whatever against Algeria because they've beaten Uganda 3-0. And we had like a very, very good game. But you could see the fitness levels are not there with the players. After 60 minutes, we were very tired. We got to at least hang in there, manage the game, and then we got the point. And then we played Guinea. I think that was 3 days later. Players have not recovered very well. They still feeling tired because the game was that they played against Algeria, high intensity, first game for a lot of them in a very long time. I mean, Lepasa went on as a sub and he had like his first game in a year. So those few minutes was his first few minutes in a year, after a year. So you can imagine how other players were feeling. We played Guinea. I think that was the most difficult game we've played there. We played that game really under pressure from the first whistle. By God's grace, we won that game, and we did not really deserve, I think, to win that game based on the performance that we had got that game. And then the third game we played Niger. We expected obviously to win that one. We got, I think, 3 days of rest and obviously preparation for that. Expected that to win that, but the resistance obviously from the opponents was not expected. We had opportunities, did not score those opportunities. We had 2 penalties denied, obviously by VAR, and obviously that's part of football as well. And we ended up playing a draw. And now we are going into our last game against Uganda, the hosts. We needed to win that game because any result was not good for us. So we needed to win that game, and the energy, different energy, positive energy. Players were hyped up, but I think also the momentum that we were sort of gaining from the other games, it was starting now to peak. Physically they were in a good shape now, in a better shape now, and then I felt had we qualified into the knockout stages, then the performance would have been better and improved throughout up until the final, based on that game. So we played very well. Like, that was the best game of our tournament, to be honest. And we lost it in the last 10 minutes of the game, or less, 10 minutes or less, because of obviously they gave them 2 penalties also to make it 3-3. I will not even say or make an excuse about VAR and whatnot. It is what it is. Talking about ourselves, I think we should have like managed the game very well. See that 2-0 lead through by managing the game very well, by not defending too deep, by not trying obviously to defend our box. we made the same mistake that we did against Guinea. Fortunately, Guinea we did not concede goals. But if you don't learn, you get punished. Sometimes you don't get away with whatever that you are doing that is not supposed to be done. So we paid the price by defending too deep, and they were given 2 penalties, and we finished with a 3-3, and then now we are back at home and watching them.
Godman, you just mentioned something quite profound, and I want to go back to the Orlando Pirates versus MTN 8 game. We saw Mamelodi Sundowns were playing offside trap. Like, it doesn't make sense to play offside trap, especially because they play Premiership, knowing that we don't have VAR. Sebelele took a run. Mamelodi Sundowns defense, Lunga particularly, couldn't see him because Lena had the mindset of offside trap. Sebelele takes a run. Mbogazi picks him up, controls the ball, Hantle pushes, he equalizes for Orlando Pirates. And we've seen this Mamelodi Sundowns team drew against Chupa United in the opening. We saw how they've played against Richards Bay MTN 8, even though they won by a big margin of 4. But we can see that there are certain players or certain aspects of the game, mobile like Kanguting. Clearly, Ribeiro is their main guy. Clearly, Kulisa Mudau is the main defender. And the only way to stop Sebelele right now is to play Tapelo Morena, but we don't know if he's going to do that. When as a professional coach, Godman, what do you think about offside trap at a professional level?
Look, let me Eric start more. The players that you've mentioned, they are very important players within the team. I mean, they would be important for any team that they play for, and they've been a core, Mamelodi Sundowns, for the past few seasons. So it was always going to be a case, the team will sort of struggle a bit to obviously regain their form without those 2 or 3 key players. But I'm sure that there's equally capable players that will obviously play and do well for the team. With regards to playing an offside trap, I don't think Sundowns, they are playing offside trap. Yes, they believe in keeping the high line, because when you keep a high line, you are closing spaces and the distances become smaller between the defender and the striker. So the last defender and the striker. So that's how they've always played. So that it gives them a lot of chance to play those lot of short passes, those combination passes. It gives them an opportunity to say when they lose it quickly, they have numbers where they lost the ball and they counter press. So it's not really about playing an offside trap without doing anything. Maybe the mistake there was the Mbogazi was given enough time to do head up, to make head up and see his player and then play the ball behind without any pressure. And any player knows that when someone with a technical ability, I'll pass a 40, 45 feet, 50 meter pass, when he's not under pressure, you need now to close, to control the space behind. And that was not done well by obviously the defender, the defense, Mamelodi Sundowns during the game. So I think it's one of the technical and tactical mistakes that was done by Mamelodi Sundowns then. But I don't think it is them saying offside. No. It's them saying we are playing the way we want to play. It is us squeezing and closing the distances and suffocating the opponents, so that when they win, we lose the ball, we try and counter press. And if we can counter press, then we reshape. So they took long to regroup. They took long to get back on shape. And then maybe the striker or whoever that was closer Mbogazi, it took long to get closer and force him to pass to make a short pass.
Godman, in closing, I want to talk about Mbogazi.
Yeah.
The young man came on at 19. He's a leader. I mean, natural leader. He knows how to read the game. He knows how to pass the ball. He knows how to mark spaces. He knows how to intercept. Like, he has a role as a defensive as a defensive player who plays in central defense, of course. Mara, some people are saying that, he's too young to be the captain of Orlando Pirates. When as someone that's been in the game, you've seen Bo Oje Mabizela come in, being a captain of Orlando Pirates at a young age. Sekhukhune playing so well, and I'm glad that he played with you. Took over and became captain of Kaizer Chiefs in his early 20s because he had the leadership qualities. Godman, what have you made of Mbegezeli Mbogazi so far? Does it deserve to be Bafana Bafana? Hugo Bruce meets.
Yeah, in terms of getting a call-up, he has done well for his club and for Orlando Pirates. So he definitely deserves to be called up. I'll say it again. I did mention it, Jorge. Whether he's used into the 2 games that are coming, Lesotho and Nigeria, or he does not. He is not used by the coach. The fact would be he's in the system. He's doing well, and then the coach knows and sees and recognizes that he's doing well. So his chance will, as it happened like Orlando Pirates, that he waits for his time, and then when it comes, eventually he uses it. It also applies into the national team, but he's in the preliminary squad now. So that means definitely the the technical team sees him and acknowledges that he has done well for his team, and then he deserves obviously the call up. As for the final team that will be named next week, obviously the coach, depending on how he wants to approach the 2 games, then it will determine whether he plays or not.
Godman, thank you so much for your time. I just want to give you credit when Andy coach Mulifinseki going out in the chain rather, making it so far and proving to us that South African football has natural given talent. And I always enjoy these conversations with you because when you give your tactical point of view, it's never biased, but you give it like your honest opinion. I remember last time we spoke about Chiefs that came back from their preseason, and you were like, no, it's too early to press the panic button. Look at them now, And you said the exact same thing. You're like, Pirates, buy a rebuilder. So you don't expect them to win the opening fixtures of the game. And I think it's very important that we listen to people like you and we give credit where it's due. And we appreciate your opinion always, Godman. It's your time. Godman.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the words, and then it's for me to say what I think. Obviously, it is happening, and then like you said, it is my opinion. It's how I see things unfolding, and then obviously based on the experience that I have from being a player and now transitioning to being a coach. So I will try also to sort of teach and allow people to see the team Sabona and their players, to see them in a different point of view, and then so that they learn more from their teams and their players. Thanks for having me once again, and then let's meet again next week. Away.
Godman, before I let you go, press
Let's go.
Chiefs, buying Kalike or pizza paraffin.
It can be a pizza paraffin. I think I mentioned Jorge, a top 8 spot. It is guaranteed. I can say it for sure. Jorge, Chiefs will definitely be in a top 8. For me is to be consistent enough to play a flowing game to play a consistent way. It achieves how it wants to play consistently, and maybe fight to, for lack of a better word, fight to be in the top 4. And once you are in that bracket at the top 4 and competing with the other 3 teams, chances of you winning the league becomes higher. But for me, and this is me, for me, I'm not looking for, or I'm not saying definitely Kaizer Chiefs is going to win the league. If Kaizer Chiefs win the league, happy, will be the happiest person, definitely. But as for me, with the process, obviously they've been taking with a lot of younger players that they've signed. You can see it is for longer a plan. It's a long-term plan for them. So now it is more of the second phase of rebuilding, right? They started last season and now they are into the second phase. And the second phase, they started very well. So the second phase would sort of allow them to be in that top 4 bracket, so that next season they fully. So next season I can confidently say Chiefs will win the league next season. But for now it's like a process, still in the process of now getting things right here and there, and understanding exactly what the coach started last season. Top 4 finish for me would be for Chiefs. If they win it, I'll be the happiest person.
But man, Orlando Pirates signed Ozwen Napolis.
Yeah.
Plays in the same position as Mufugeng, who in the past 4 matches he's been a bit off form. We saw Tito Maswanganyi also hasn't been, Orlando Pirates' main man, so they had to replace him. Unfortunately, they had to put Mfugeng on the right, Ozonapolis on the left, and then sometimes Mfugeng on the left, Ozonapolis on the right, and Kamkhelo Sebelele is forced to then make those runs up and down. And then when you look at the midfield, Sipombule, Sihlendule, Talent Mbata, they're giving that midfield depth, they're giving that midfield shape, and they are approaching and attacking. As someone who understands the tactics of the game, we had a conversation about Renieilwe Mfugeng and Ozonapolis. And I confidently said that there's a reason why Ozonapolis would start ahead of Renieilwe Mfugeng in the national team, which means that Ozonapolis understands the game better. He has a better vision, knows how to shoot better, he knows how to space better. Whereas Renieilwe Mfugeng is sometimes too much of a casual player. This is the last question, Khodman. Sayivala manje. Ozonapolis, Renieilwe Mfugeng, who's better and why?
Who's better? No, they have different qualities. And Relay is more the creative. So Relay's creative side of the brain is more than obviously with Ozil. Ozil mostly keeps it simple. You already know what he's going to do when he plays on the left. You already know when he gets it, he will want to go into his right and then kill the ball, and that's his specialty. And when he plays on the right, you always know that he'll try and take players on, go to the byline and cut backs. You always know that. He's a very basic, simple player, but very effective. And when it's really, you don't know what to expect. He'll play those 1-2. Utla shapa vala. Utla kata in. But what he does not have that Ozil has is it's that final decision making or final execution in terms of in the final third when he cuts in. It's either the shot does not really be on target or ishapa body amoch, and then it becomes a transition and whatnot. So they are two different players that brings two different feel for Orlando Pirates, and then definitely together in a game they will create problems for opponents, because opponents will not know how to sort of deal with the two players that are contrast to each other, but they are very effective for their team. And then you don't know who this one change my side, this one inverts, then this one becomes a number 10. So they are very difficult players together to obviously be for Orlando Pirates. And then they, as a coach, you would want your best players to be on the field at any given time. And then Pirates has a lot of those good players. You still have Remy on the side, and that's a headache that every coach wants. And I feel with it's still a process, man. It's still a process. They will get there. They will be okay, and then Rela will then probably get to the level that he should be. He has not really be at that level, but he has not done bad when it comes to me, to what I think. He has not done bad, but he has not been on the level that we all know him for. But again, it's normal. It's normal. Players do get to that point where the performance dips, they lose form. At the right time, they start picking. It's normal, and I know that Rele will then get back to his normal form and do exactly what he's been doing for the past 2 years for Pirates.
Thank you so much, Goodman.
Thank you, sir. Thanks again for being with me, and then obviously staying and listening to this conversation with me. Any question, any input, any information that needed, please send on the comments, and then we'll try and then reply and chat to Luana. Thank you.
Danke, Goodman.
All right.